I'm not going to do that good morning, you all. I'm just saying, hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. How you doing? Now, I know this is a day that we're supposed to celebrate these folks. How are you doing? All righty. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, first of all, to the distinguished guests on the dais, as well as the faculty, and particularly the class of 2025, thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and that's really important for you to remember. It is an opportunity. It is a privilege for me to be able to spend 10 minutes, I promise you, I won't be here long, with you all. And I tell you, as I began to reflect on what I was going to talk about, even to the folks at the top, I remembered back to my graduation ceremony, and let's just say it was a long time ago. It started with 19-something. It wasn't 2000 anything. But I remember so vividly that, one, the guy spoke too long, and I didn't walk away with anything. So I promise you that I'm going to be brief, and I hope that I leave you with one or two kernels that you can take throughout your life. That's really the goal of your commencement speaker. So I was talking with my team in advance of this invitation, and again, thank you, President Dr. Jones, for inviting me. What would I say to you? What would I say to my recent college graduate self? Or what would someone say to me? And as I reflected on it, particularly given my role, I represent 95% of the human resources professionals in the Fortune 500. We have 340,000 members across the globe. So wherever you work, you're likely to end up meeting a SHRM member. And I thought, what would I say to you if I were on this journey? And here's where I want to land. I wish for each of you, class of 2025, to find your career sweet spot. That's what this is all about. All of us are going to have to work unless you're independently wealthy or what have you. But if you're going to have to work, then you need to find something that is your career sweet spot. And how do we define a career sweet spot? Well, it's this sort of intersection of three sort of concentric circles. And the first thing that you have to do is find and ask yourself, first of all, in order to find, what can I be great at? That's the real question. What can I be great at? I'll never remember seeing and hearing people say, Johnny, you can be anything you want to be. That's not true. It's actually not true. Like I think and want to be when I was growing up in the NBA, but it wasn't going to happen because I'm not athletic. I then said I want to sing, and I'm way off key. Like I'm a shower singer only. The notion was you can't really be anything that you want to be. But what's really amazing is the God that has given every one of you, class of 25, a gift. Every one of us has an individual gift. And what you have to do is be honest with yourself and figure that out. That's part of what I've hoped you've done for the last couple of years, 2, 3, 4 years. How long it's taking you to get through this is you're trying to find out what can I be great at. It is far more important in your life to understand your strengths and focus on those than your weaknesses. People spend an inordinate amount of time in their career focusing on how to get better at something they're never going to be great at. So let me tell you from an HR perspective, the most important thing that you can do on this journey to finding your career sweet spot is to find out what is it that I can uniquely do. I'm going to tell you a quick anecdote. I was recently hired. I had an electrical problem at my home, and I probably had 4, 5, maybe 6 different electricians who came in, and they simply couldn't figure out the problem. This one guy walked in, and he had this swagger about him. Electrician. Now, he didn't have a PhD from MIT or Harvard, or just an electrician. He said, I promise you, I can figure this out. I'll solve your problem. And let me tell you, about an hour and a half later, everything lit up in my house. I said, God is good, right? This guy knew what he could be great at. He was an amazing electrician. And my friends, that's what you need to do, is figure out what you can be great at, number one. Number two is figure out what are those things you're passionate about. In this order. Don't find passion first. Find what you think you can be great at first. Then say, of that list of things that I actually think I can do really, really well, if I put time and energy into, what of those am I passionate about? What do I want to do? There's nothing worse than doing something because mama, daddy, your counselor, someone else wants you to do it. Find out what you actually are passionate about. That's the most important of the 3 steps on this journey called finding your career sweet spot. And then finally, and thirdly, and perhaps more importantly, find something that people will pay you to do. Let me tell you, it's a bad idea to pursue your passion and be broke. It's just not a good idea. So this notion of, you take these 3 circles. What can I be great at if I put a lot of effort and energy into it? What am I passionate about? And what will someone pay me to do? Either a customer if you're an entrepreneur, or a company if you're working for someone, a company, an employer. But you find that middle spot, and that is your career sweet spot. So as you spend time, you've now graduated, you're going, some of you will matriculate on to four-year universities and beyond. Others will go directly into the workforce, and let me hear you understand, we need you. We need you now in the workforce. So whatever you do, find that career sweet spot, because you're going to be doing this work for a very long time. They're like 30, 40, 50 years, right? And the adults in the room, the parents in the room all know, if you don't figure that out, work will be hard. And if work is hard, life is hard. You owe it to yourself to find that really special point. Okay, before I go, because I promised you I'd be short, I want to share just a poem with you. So number one is find this career sweet spot. Number two is to really, really enjoy your lives. And so I found a poem that was written by an 85-year-old woman in Louisville, Kentucky, who learned that she was dying. And she wrote this, and I just want to share it with you as I leave the stage what she wrote. She said, she named it, "If I Had to Live My Life Over Again." She said, if I had to live my life over again, I'd try to make more mistakes the next time. You see, I wouldn't try to be so perfect. We all have these perfection fetishes. She said, what difference does it make if you can let people know you're imperfect? Because they can then identify with you, because nobody can identify with perfection. She says, if I had to live my life over again, I'd relax more. I'd be sillier than I've been on this trip. In fact, I know very few things that I would take so seriously. I'd be crazier. I'd be less hygienic. I'd take more chances. I'd climb more mountains. I'd watch more sunsets. I'd go more places I've never, ever seen. I'd eat more ice cream and fewer beans. I'd have more actual troubles and fewer imaginary ones. You see, I was one of those people who lived sensibly, insanely, hour after hour and day after day. And oh, I've had my moments, and if I had to do it all over again, I'd have more of those moments when I just let go. In fact, I'd try to do nothing but have beautiful moments, moment by moment by moment. In case you didn't know, that's what life is made of, only moments. And her suggestion is don't miss the now. Right now in 2025, folks, enjoy this moment. I've been one of those people, she ended with, who never went anywhere without a thermometer, a hot water bottle, a gargle, a raincoat, and a parachute. She said if I had to do it all over again, I'd travel lighter the next time. If I had to do it all over again, I'd start barefoot earlier in the spring and stay that way until later in the fall. I'd ride merry-go-rounds. I'd watch more sunrises. And I'd play with more children if I had to do it all over again. Class of 2025, that's what I wish you. Find your career sweet spot, and don't wake up at 85 if you're fortunate to get that point, saying what you do all over again. Live your best life now. God bless you all.